Hello everybody, I'm Brian from Orchids by Brian, and today I'm at Max Orchids in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Max specializes in Asian orchid species and hybrids, so you are going to see some amazing Dendrobiums, Grammatophyllums, Phalaenopsis. There's Phalaenopsis here. It's going to be amazing. You got so much. Renanthera, Vandopsis. I can't wait to show you. So anyway, let's go inside and explore Max Orchids. So here we are at Max Orchids, right here in beautiful Florida. Mac has incredible Asian orchids. So you're going to see so many different orchids native to Asia, Philippines, Grammatophyllums, Renanthera. Check out this incredible plant. Look at the size. Holy cow. I don't know if we'll be able to get the name here. This is Vandopsis, though. Looks like Trichoglottis, and I'll take a look and see if I can find a better tag. I actually see another one over here of Max that's also in bloom, but man, check out that flower. That is a crazy flower. Actually, we do have a tag. Here we go. I was pretty close. What a plant. Incredible. All right, let's go inside, check out what they have here at Max Orchids. Incredible stuff. Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Max Orchids specializing in these massive Asian orchids. Look at this Grammatophyllum. Mac has some original hybrid Grammatophyllums that he has produced himself, but these plants are beautiful. Look at this. Wow. Stunning. That is amazing. And then over here we have this guy too. Check this out. Oh my gosh. Beautiful flower. Mac was saying that he grew this orchid from seed. I mean, look at the size of this. Amazing specimen. Grammatophyllum is something that's pretty new to me. And so I always love visiting orchid nurseries and learning about these plants that are new. Learn about their growth habits. These orchids, I'm going to go on the other side here for a second. As you can see, their roots pushing up from the ground. Look at these roots. Isn't that crazy? Here's the name here. This is Grammatophyllum varieties Citrinum. You can see these spikes. Unreal. Absolutely unbelievable. Mac has several in bloom right now. Let's go over here and check them out. Look at those blooms. Really pretty flowers. So if you're in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, or Miami Beach, Miami area, he's only about 40 minutes from Miami and right outside of Fort Lauderdale. Here's several standard Phalaenopsis that Mac has from some of the displays, the installations that he does, which is pretty cool. So if you live in Florida, you're looking for an installation put on your trees. I saw some photos of some of Mac's work and it's incredible. He is definitely a spectacular artist when it comes to these plants. Check out these standard phals though, beautiful. Like I said, you're going to see a lot of Dendrobiums. Peak blooming time here at Mac Orchids is from January until May. So we just missed it. Here's Dendrobium secundum. And you can see, look at these little flowers here. So delicate. Really pretty. But it's pretty cool. I like stopping into these nurseries and seeing all of the different orchids that they have in bloom. Dendrobiums are a genus that I have a couple of plants, but I'm not super experienced in the growing. Check out this guy. That's beautiful. I think this is either aggregatum or lindley, but he's got it mounted. Mac also has all of this driftwood. This is just part of his driftwood selection, and this driftwood is for sale and incredible pricing. So if you're looking to like mount orchids or other tropicals on wood, a lot of this is cypress wood that you can pick up from Mac. Look at the size of that Phragmipedium that's just about finished blooming there. It's got another spike on or another bud on the way. But let's keep going down here. See some of their other plants that they have in bloom. Here's some Arides. Arides rosea. Let's see if it'll focus for me. The flowers are just about done. But amazing stuff, like I said. Check these out. These flowers are beautiful. This is one of my favorites here. You can see he has a lot in bloom right now. Check out these flowers. Wow, the clusters of plants. Oh my Lord. Incredible. And look at, I love the red striping inside this Dendrobium. One of my favorites. This is Dendrobium bulenianum. The great thing about Max is if you live here in Florida, and let's say you're looking to grow plants outdoors, Max Nursery is totally outside. So if it's not going to grow in the Florida heat and sun, Mac doesn't grow it. That's the mention to me. So this is stuff that you will grow well here in Florida. Here's a nice little cat. Tiny flowered Cattleya. Really nice. Let's see if we can get the name. Oh, it doesn't seem to have the tag. I think it might have broken. That's okay. But let's go outside. This is where we start to see some of Mac's other orchids. Check this out. Oh my gosh, you can tell his plants are happy. This is that bulenianum or bulenianum. Look at all the blooms, the clusters of orange flowers. That is amazing. Amazing plants. Here's another Grammatophyllum. Let's see if I can show you the blooms here. Look at that. Really, really nice. I think some of these are on their way out, but these are Grammatophyllum scriptum over here. Tons of grams. You can see that that is definitely one of his specialties. I mean, Mac has dozens, probably hundreds of Grammatophyllum orchids. I mean, check this guy out. Oh my God. This is definitely their blooming season, but crazy amounts of plants. Lots of sun-loving orchids as well. Like I mentioned earlier, Renanthera, Vandopsis. You can see really fantastic selection. And you can see over here we have some cats, Schomburgkia, Shambo cats. Not much in bloom for Cattleyas this time of year. It is, like I said, it is July, so this is a lot of their growing season, but you're still going to see some beautiful stuff. And just get an idea of Mac's orchids and the quality of the plants that they have. I think it's awesome to see a grower specializing in Asian orchids. Some of these here are beautiful little seedlings. Let's see if we can see here. Mac also has some cymbidiums that grow well here in Florida, which is pretty unique. Warm-growing cymbidiums. They have several of those in bloom, but you can see just this scale of these, or the size of these dendrobiums that he has here. More grammatophyllums, catasetums, and everything in between. So really anything you could be looking for when it comes to Asian orchids, Mac is your guy. Mac also does about 30 shows a year here in Florida and Louisiana. So if you're looking to shop, you probably have seen Mac's orchids at these shows. That's where I saw Mac for the first time. Check this out. Beautiful Renanthera. Holy cow. That is really pretty. Wow. Here's the tag. Oops. I think it faded out. I do know it's a Renanthera for sure. Now, if there's any orchids that you're seeing on this video that you like, as always, send an email or a text message to Mac, and he can definitely clarify which orchid that is, its name, and if he has them available for you to pick up and add to your collection. Mac's got more orchids on the way. Here's a pretty interesting plant that Mac and I were talking about. This is Dendrobium farmeri alba. Has almost a flat flower, which is very unique for farmeri. Used to seeing that pink variety farmeri with those beautiful cascading flowers. But what amazing stuff. His mounts are just spectacular. Look at the size of this plant here. And here's a beautiful little orchid up here. Let's see what the best view will be. There we go. It might be a Bratonia, maybe. I know Bratonias have those long spikes. Let's see. Dendrobium. Oh yes, Bratonia sanguinea. That's what this guy is up here. Bratonia sanguinea. Wonderful little purple flowers. You can see over here even more cats, Nodosa cats. He's got Phalaenopsis that are mounted, some potted. Of course, this time of year, plenty of these in bloom and happy. My gosh, but look at this place. Isn't this amazing? Like I said, if you stop into Mac Orchids, you will not be disappointed. He's got maxillarias, dendrobiums, grammatophyllums, warm-growing cymbidiums. Amazing stuff. And his property is just spectacular as well. I really like how he has his nursery set up. It's like you truly are adventuring into the jungle. Let's go over on the other side and I'll show you a couple of blooms over there. You can see these Oncidium orchids here. And then here is one of their warm-growing cymbidiums. Check out these flowers. There we go. Isn't that beautiful? And Mac has some massive specimens. And you should see the flowers like cascading. It is unreal. And of course over here, look at all these anosmums. If you're looking for Dendrobium anosmum, I bet you this is a wall full of amazing blooms come anosmum season. And they bloom off of these canes. Really, really pretty stuff. My gosh. And this is a 4N anosmum. Has that compact growth, which is pretty unique. I've never seen a 4N anosmum. You can see how small and stumpy the growth is, and the flowers, like Max said, are a little bit smaller. You know, not huge, but really, really nice. And like I said, he has these fowls that are mounted on wood. Really, really nice. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed this brief tour of Mac's orchids here in July. We'll definitely stop by in his peak blooming season to see all of the amazing orchids in bloom, but this is a wonderful first tour to give you an idea of this amazing nursery. So, all right, let's close it out. All right, everybody, that's going to conclude my tour of Mac's Orchids here in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. What an amazing nursery. If you have the opportunity to stop by, if you're interested in Asian orchids, hybrids, and species, this is the place to visit. Amazing Dendrobiums, Grammatophyllums, and there's so much more to be seen in bloom next time we stop by. So thanks so much, Mac, for letting me stop in and film a video of your nursery. Thank you all for watching. I'm Brian from Orchids by Brian, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.